Hey YouTube, welcome back to a new writing vlog. I'm Pooja and I'm the author of The Haunted Wardrobe and The Spirits in the Attic. The Haunted Wardrobe is a Halloween poetry book, and the book The Spirits in the Attic is a winter poetry book. And now I am going to write my Valentine's poetry book. I don't have a title yet, but in this vlog, I'm going to be structuring out and finishing the plot of the book. I already have what I'm going to write in the 14 chapters. If you've followed me in the last video, because it was Valentine's, I wanted to write 14 chapters and uncover all of it within the 14 chapters. I was able to figure out what would happen in each chapter, but now I'm going to create a rough draft before I start writing it in verse. So that's what I'm going to be doing for this video. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be going to a coffee shop and I'm going to start writing in my yellow notebook, write out everything that I have, and then I'm going to try to integrate it into my laptop. But without further ado, let's get into the video. So in the coffee shop, I was able to get to at least the second chapter and write out exactly what I was thinking and all those things. I honestly forgot, because I haven't written in a while, how much it is harder to think on the spot what should happen next. My book it's a Valentine's book, but it's about these 3 different couples, and each couple has a specific thing that they're struggling with, or a potential of a couple. And Cupid, the scene starts in a ballroom, and it's Valentine's Day, and Cupid is there. He ends up being really tired and starts to sleepwalk, and then accidentally hits 3 different people. And then we go into the lives of those 3 different people. Venus, his mom, gets upset, so he has to go back and reverse everything that he's done. What I realized is that I wanted to make it like a poetry book, but I also kind of structured it into a play. When we go through it, we have kind of a chorus, and the chorus is the people in the ballroom. I wanted it to be that. I don't know how I'm gonna weave it in so people understand that's who is narrating. That is the narrator of the book. And then you go into third person of the actual perspective of each person. I don't know how I'm going to weave it in. I just wrote what I felt like it would happen. I feel now it's going to progress into more of a play or an act rather than just poetry itself, which is cool, which I think is going to be interesting how it's going to play out. It's also, I don't know how to market this book, or if I need to even explain every single detail. I don't know, but I'm glad I got to chapter 2, because in the book that I know I had this, there was one thing that I wrote online, for chapter 3, I think I already wrote it by accident because it was the first thing I wrote, and it's basically Cupid getting caught by Venus and Venus getting really upset with him, and so now he has to go back and change everything that he has caused within those couples. When I was doing the Save the Cat method, it's kind of the catalyst part where things need to change. That's the problem. Now there's a new direction. So I am going to take a break for right now. I am going to the library after I take a break, and this is normal people. I just need to return this book. And hopefully, in the meantime, I can just go there and continue writing, picking up where I left off. I'm officially back from the library. I don't think I got much done. I was able to get through a little bit of chapter 4, but I did pick up a lot of books. And because it is February and it's getting close to Valentine's Day, I decided to pick a lot of romance books. I wanted to get in the mood of like Valentine's Day, but also another thing is because I'm writing a Valentine's book, I want to read books, romance books from authors that I really enjoy or I've heard really good reviews from. So I picked up a lot of books. So then it also helps me become a better writer when it comes to writing my own book. I want to go through the different books that I picked up. One author that I read was Lana Ferguson. I think I read Lock and Key at a book club, and I really liked her writing style. It was so easy to read her books, and I picked up 3 books. So, first book that I picked up was The Fake Mate, and I think this is more of like I'm assuming it's a fake dating type of book where she pretends to fake date someone. I think it's because her grandmother wants her to get married or have to find someone, so she ends up saying that she already is in a relationship and then creates a fake scenario about her dating someone. The next one is Overruled by Lana Ferguson. So this one is about Danica Pierce. She's one of the top divorce lawyers in Austin. I think it's more of like she's like so focused in her career and then she ends up finding someone in the courtroom. I'm excited to read this book. And then the last book from Lana Ferguson is The Game Changer. So Delilah Baker, the main character, is known. She has her own, like, I think it's a baking. She has her own baking show. And she meets someone kind of like there's like this guy named Ian Chase. He has a career in like sports and he had a pretty public breakup. So they're kind of teaming up together to be in a relationship to boost the numbers for her show, as well as like kind of like cover up the PR from Ian's like recent breakup. Yeah, I'm definitely excited to read this. The next book that I want to read, I know it's not pretty recent, but I used to read Emily Henry a lot, so I wanted to read her newest book, Great Big Beautiful Life. And I think this is kind of like, if you've read Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, I think this is like the same type of scenario where Alice Scott is like, she has her, like, I think she's like a journalist or a writer, and she's interviewing someone who's a celebrity. I think that's kind of the scenario of what this book is about. And then I can't remember the booktuber who recommended this author, but I know that this author has a lot of wit, and I really do like a lot of books that have a lot of banter and like wittiness to it. So the author is named Mahari McFarlane. So the first book is Between Us, and then the second book that I got was It's Not Me, It's You, and then the last book that I got was Mad About You. So I don't know if I'm actually going to read all of those books all at the same time, but I'm thinking about creating a video of me going through all of these books and just like writing. Maybe I wouldn't go far as like creating an analysis, but like kind of like taking out all the things that I really enjoyed from the books and trying to get inspiration from these books in order to write a better version of my book. So I'm going to take a break and I will follow up with you on when I start writing back up again. Hey, so today's the next day. It's officially Sunday today. Sorry, the lighting is really bad right now. You can only see one side of me, but I'm getting ready because I'll be going to the gym first, and then afterwards I'll be going to another coffee shop. I'm going to be focusing on I'm currently on chapter 4, and I want to get to a point where I can get to chapter 5, but also I feel like I'm pretty stuck on like how to progress it. So I need to go back and look at the notes that I wrote for Save the Cat and be able to use that as a reference. But I think it's hard because I've never written technically romance before, so I think a lot of it well, at least the ones that I like, have a lot of dialogue back and forth. It's hard to figure out what they should say to each other because the way that they talk to each other also impacts later down the line the outcome of everything. I came back. I had to take a break, but I got to chapter 15. I think I've said this before. I have a hard time jumping back and forth with everything because I keep forgetting when I have the save the cat method for each couple. I forget what plot I'm in when I'm in chapter 5, and I know I have to discuss all of the couples at once. So I think I have to go back and forth continuously. I don't know if this might be a better decision if I just put everything online and put everything in a Google Doc, so then it's a lot easier for me to shift back and forth with everything. But I'm not sure right now because I like physically writing because it helps me think through things. I don't know how to explain it, but I like being able to physically write things down. But I'm not sure. I am going to continue on to writing with chapter 15, and I'll let you know my progress. I got through chapter 6. Well, almost. I started chapter 6. What I've learned is I think I got through a lot more than what I anticipated. I did have some hiccups of not knowing where to go from the last chapter, but I think the next time I'm gonna try to upload all of this and try to put all of the written text online so that I can go back and reference the plot of the story, so then it's easier for me to figure out instead of having to jump back and forth on what I wrote for each specific couple. The next thing is I think I just suck at dialogue right now because I feel like I'm doing too many things at once. Like, I want to have the best dialogue, I want it to have the best plot. I think in my next video, I'm gonna start just reading different romance books, especially the ones that I checked out in the library. And I'm just gonna go through and write down what I like and what I don't like. But I hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if there's any romance books that you really like. I am open to reading any type of book, but just let me know in the comments which ones that you like. But see you in the next video.